اوكي هلو سيكرز. النهارده احنا في انتلكت في القاهره. انتلكت كوتشنج سكول. معانا أميرة شوقي. اهلا وسهلا أميرة.
اهلا، ازيك يا هاشم؟ عامل ايه؟
الحمد لله. really glad ان I'm talking to you. انا اول مره اتعرفت على أميرة كان في خلال الانتلكت كوتشنج واتساب جروب من 2017 2018 وبعد ذلك وقعدنا يعني 4 سنين يمكن، ودلوقتي اول مره نتقابل فيس تو فيس. So this would be interesting from a sociological psychological perspective.
بس I think خلاص الواحد اتعود ان هو يتعرف على الناس من غير ما يmeet them in person.
Right.
I feel like I know you.
Right.
I feel comfortable. أنا أصلي introvert.
Right.
Usually I wouldn't be comfortable with somebody I don't know, but I feel like I know you.
Right. Okay. طيب سؤال. بما انك في اول حاجة the majority of how we know each other is online، ودلوقتي اول مرة نتقابل، حسيت في حاجة مختلفة؟
I would say no. بس خلي بالك احنا يعني seeing you it's just been like less than an hour.
Right.
Maybe.
Maybe by the end of this.
مع بعض أكتر I
by
would
the
say
end of
something.
kind of,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Alrighty. So أنا لما أفكر في أميرة أول حاجة that jumps to mind is burnout coach أو coach who specializes in burnout. We obviously work with أو مش obviously you work with Intellect. What would you add? How would you introduce yourself?
I mean, أنا بحب دايما introduce myself. I'm Amira. I don't really believe in titles.
Okay.
بحس إن التايتلز أيام ما كنت بشتغل في corporate حتى آخر شركة ليا I was in a place where I could say we don't have titles. لما حد يعرف ناس يقول I'm responsible of كذا كذا كذا.
Okay.
So titles بالنسبة لي مش يعني حتى لما حد يقول لي مثلا أنا الدكتور الفلاني أو الباشمهندس الفلاني، لو ما فيش age difference بشيل التايتل. It's just it's something I feel like we shouldn't be attached to it. So yes, introducing myself is kind of one of the hardest questions. أنا أميرة. I've been a professional coach since 2017. I feel like coaching embodies Amira better than any other job.
Okay.
But again, because right now I'm a coach. لو كنت سألتني من 20 سنة ولا حاجة كنت أقول لك software developer of course embodies Amira. يعني at every stage I was probably embodied by that job, or that job embodies me. But I feel like coaching is, I like to say that I'm a coach.
I had no idea that you were a software developer.
Oh yeah.
فدي مثلا حاجة it's wow, this is an interesting
software developer بس كنت على a very specific machine, IBM machine. Wasn't any kind of ما كنتش بشتغل على PCs.
Okay.
Yes, that's in another life.
Okay. So obviously يعني قبل ما نبتدي الأسئلة the standard, do you feel there's any kind of relationship between coding or software development and coaching? ممكن يبقى جواب لا.
It's curiosity. If you're not curious, you're not, يعني مش هتبقى coach كويس. Curiosity helps في software development.
Okay.
So I think curiosity is there.
Right.
مش الحاجة التانية يعني، بس هي curiosity أكتر حاجة I would say.
Are you in any way يعني up to date؟ مش up to date قوي بس يعني do you check the latest technological developments والحاجات دي ولا؟
Yes، بس ده لي دعوة بالstrengths بتاعتي، عشان أنا عندي one of my character strengths is love of learning أو input. فتلاقيني I read a lot, I read articles a lot across a lot of disciplines يعني. technology بيشد انتباهي بس I don't go deep.
Okay.
يعني I understand AI بيشتغل ازاي بس ما اعرفش ال nitty details.
Right.
بتلاقيني اكتر software بس لا يعني ممكن hardware شوية بس مش برضو مش بدخل deeply. يعني
Right.
حاجات الsoft اكتر maybe not software بس AI, machine learning, whatever بقى cyber attacks بتحصل مثلا on a geopolitical level ممكن تلاقيني بقرا الحاجات دي.
قريتي حاجة عن the automation of coaching؟
I mean I read about it بس أنا عندي تحفظ فظيع because I did enter this debate as a burnout coach. كان في somebody pinged me on, I think it was Instagram, about the use of technology, وازاي ان technology can be a very good aid in identifying stress in others. But I think in relying too much on technology بياخد من awareness بتاعنا. I shouldn't need a smartwatch to tell me that I'm anxious. If I'm يعني aware كده و grounded و tuned in to myself, I don't need a device برايا يقول لي that I'm anxious, that I'm stressed. Because a big part of, in my opinion طبعا لما burnout بيحصل أو أيا كان يعني الانكزايتي بيجي نتيجة إن جسمي عمال يبعت لي signals but I'm not picking up on these signals. Why? Because I'm distracted with other things. So it's a big debate. وإيفن as managers, I think as a manager أنت لو رفعت راسك وبصيت للتيم بتاعك you can tell مين stressed ومين مش stressed. You don't يعني you don't need a device يقعد يمونيتور الحركة العين. You don't need these things. I would rather إن ال funds تبقى directed to something else than using technology عشان identify stress in employees, because this was the topic يعني
يعني this is interesting because أنا مريت في مرحلة اللي هو still I think about this till now إنه I don't know if I'm going through burnout or depression. So in this sense I would think it would be very useful to have an external device that can tell the difference. But how would you يعني
There's a 20% overlap between burnout and depression.
Okay.
Meaning in الناس اللي عندها depression عرضة ان يجي لها burnout, والناس اللي عندها burnout when they don't address it عرضة ان هم جالهم depression, بس يعني ما هيش direct correlation. It's just 20% يعني overlap.
يعني أنا where I'm coming from is إنه الsymptoms هي يعني في تشابه فظيع. أنا شايف مثلا في حتة إنه مثلا low motivation وإن أنت مش قادرة تعملي حاجة وملكيش نفس وكل الكلام ده.
يعني tiredness, being tired أساسها emotional بس it manifests as physical.
Yes.
This is يعني حاجة في depression وحاجة في burnout. الفرق الأكبر, وطبعا a therapist would be more equipped يعني to deal with حاجة زي كده أو to even يعني specify the differences. بس الفرق الأكبر إن أنت دايما هتلاقي الشخص اللي عنده burnout هتلاقي الحاجات دي localized في الشغل. هتلاقي الشخص ده لو بيصحى الصبح مش عايز يروح الشغل زي ما كانش عايز يروح المدرسة. جوه الشغل لأن الدي موتيفيشن بيجي نتيجة إن بيبقى actually أو ما بتبقاش دي موتيفيشن, بتبقى apathy or indifference, callousness towards the people you are serving. هتلاقي الشخص هو ممكن يبقى lethargic شوية أو seems tired, مش قادر يفكر. الحاجات دي كلها جوه الشغل أو حاجة ليها دعوة بالشغل. الشخص ده لو روح مثلا وجاله مكالمة احنا طالعين ويك اند الساحل وهو بيحب مثلا يروح الحاجة دي, هتلاقي جاله energy من حيث لا يعلم. If hobbies, هتلاقي they're doing hobbies well, but it really depends على يعني how long الشخص ده has been burnt out. The longer you stay في لأن burn out, one of the metaphors is إنه عامل زي الدوامة. So it pulls you down, وكمان يعني في الأول بتبقى it's a little bit wide كده, بس the longer you stay in it بيبتدي يضيق. In terms of you become constrained, وتلاقي it will start to impact other factors of your life. And at this point ممكن يقلب depression. بس again it starts wide وبيجيلك signals. So the more you are aware of الsignals بتاعتك انت, اللي كل واحد unique. هيبقى في signals جايلك من from your body, هيبقى في signals جايلك psychologically اللي هي emotions with thoughts, بس كل واحد عنده الحاجة اللي بتقوله إن I'm not well. So يعني the sooner you pick up on these signals, the sooner you take action, it's better.
Right. Sorry, أنا بس I keep referring it back to myself. I know إنه إحنا we're not in a clinical setting, بس يعني I'm thinking إنه I guess in my case, because my work and my personal life are very intertwined, الحاجات اللي انا بهتم بيها in my personal life هي نفسها الحاجات اللي انا بهتم فيها في الشغل. ف it's hard to tease out. So بالنسبة ليكي ال burnout لما تقولي إنه it's primarily related to work, so you can't think ممكن يعني مش ممكن يبقى الواحد عنده burnout من حاجة برا الشغل؟
From يعني an academic perspective, all the research اللي موجود بيتكلم على burnout as occupational burnout.
Okay.
تعريف occupational burnout, it is a psychological condition بيحصل لما البني آدم بيتعرض ل chronic stress over a prolonged period of time in the workplace. ده التعريف اللي هو الايه جاي من الريسيرش. طبعا هنقول كل الريسيرش ما كانش معظم الريسيرش كان قبل الكوفيد. COVID brought on a whole lot of stress. So what we were going through in the last 2 years, هل ده ممكن يوصلنا ل burnout? Honestly, I don't know from a يعني an academic standpoint, from a research standpoint. However, if we want to label it as burnout and tackle it as burnout, I don't think إن فيها ضرر unless we don't get better. And at that point, then calling what we're going through burnout would be a disservice. يعني for example, أنا عندي تحفظ فظيع when we use the word parental burnout. لأن ال burnout has 3 dimensions. أول حاجة ال tiredness واللي هي زي ما احنا قلنا أساسها emotional بس بتظهر في شكل ال physical. تاني حاجة ال callousness وال indifference. واحنا we feel ال callousness وال indifference ده towards the people we are serving. So as a parent, if I feel callous and indifference towards an infant, I think this requires يعني help therapy. مش so calling it burnout, it might be a disservice لل parent ولل child. فعلشان كده because burnout has become a buzzword, it's been يعني been used a lot. However في literature لا هتلاقي ان الريسيرش كله is very clear it's occupational burnout. ساعات بندروب ال occupational just عشان for ease. بس Zoom burnout fine. يعني again using it in this marketing context, it's for clickbaiting, it's يعني بس ان يكون عندي condition and I'm calling it burnout when it really isn't burnout, it can be a disservice في رأيي.
اوكي انا هاخد ديتور كده دقيقة عشان ذكرت موضوع الزوم بيرن اوت. كنت بفكر في ظاهرة هي موضوع الناس بيجيلهم overwhelm او stress من يسمعوا voice message which is something very alien to my way of thinking. يعني it's just bizarre to my way of thinking. انه كنت بعت لواحدة voice message وقالت لي بعت لي لو سمحت تكست عشان ما
أنا كده أنا ما بحبش الفويس notes.
Try to explain to me, demystify this.
Okay, I can tell you from my perspective.
Okay.
Usually اللي بيبعت في ناس بيبعتوا لي voice notes and I understand why. They're driving أو أنا بسأل سؤال and they need to elaborate and explain.
Okay.
It's understandable. However الناس اللي بيبعتوا unsolicited voice notes اللي هي ايه لا مش مثلا انا طالبه منك حاجه ف you're driving so you need to respond now فمش هينفع تسيب السواقه او التكست او الناس اللي هم بيبعتوا كده مسجز من نفسهم usually هم بيبقوا رغايين شويه. فدلوقتي مع البلاي باك اوبشن ان انا اقدر اسرع I'm fine. بس قبل كده لما ما كانش في الاوبشن ان انا اغير البلاي باك سبيد I have to listen to the entire message عشان اعرف هو عايز ايه. When it's text I can skim it.
Okay, skimming.
So بالنسبة لي it's about اللي هو time.
Efficiency.
اللي هو تاني حاجة you can't search text messages. فاللي بيبعت لي important information في text message if I need to go back to it ما اقدرش search.
Okay.
This يعني it limits me.
تمام.
بس مع البلاي سبيد دلوقتي it's becoming a little bit better.
بس في جزء بقى اللي انا لغايه دلوقتي مش فاهمه اللي هو يعني في intrusion يعني you're intruding someone's privacy by sending a voice message, which is something I'm trying to wrap my head around. بس
I don't feel like it's an intrusion of privacy as much of a waste of my time ساعات.
Okay.
It depends كمان على اي voice note اكتر من دقيقة ونص بالنسبة لي it's like why do we need like 3 minutes أصل في voice notes بقى 3 دقايق 4 دقايق and I was like أنا لو سمعت أغنية a song is like 3.5 minutes. Why should I listen to a voice note that is 3-4 minutes? في حاجة بتبقى 6 minutes.
Okay.
What depends. الجروبس اللي هي واتساب جروبس اللي هي فيها تشات كتير غالبا لو الفويس نوت مش directed towards me I probably don't listen to it.
Okay.
عشان أبقى honest.
أنا ما بعتلكيش حاجة أكتر من I think I average like a minute or something.
ما زي ما كان depends على أول ما أبص ألاقي حاجة like 5 or 6 minutes like depends جاي من مين طبعا.
Yeah. طب لو زهقت من الفويس مسجز بتاعته قولي لي بس ابعت لي تكست.
لما بزهق من حد بقول.
طيب.
Don't worry about it.
Good. اوكي سو عملنا ديتور للموضوع ده. رجعنا على موضوع البيرن اوت. طيب productivity guilt. Do you think there's a I'm interested in نعرف إذا في overlap بين productivity guilt و occupation burnout, especially اللي هو الكيس يعني where it's coming from. إن أنا دايما I'm complaining إن أنا I feel I'm not being productive enough my يعني how it impacts my psyche كذا كذا كذا. So I had a friend shout out to Claire عشان مرة وأنا في البودكاست I said someone I know instead of Claire فقالت لي لا ما يعني I need my friend. Okay, so shout out to Claire. فبتقولي يمكن أنت it's not really يعني maybe it's just you're in a burnout phase of your life. So how would you see productivity guilt, how it relates to
guilt is a key word في burnout. زي ما احنا قلنا there are 3 dimensions. exhaustion هو أساسه emotional والemotions جاية من guilt والcallousness والindifference برضو جاية من guilt. research has found إن burnout بيجي to the best employees. Okay. The most hard workers. اللي بيحصل ان هم مش شرط يكون البرفورمانس بتاعهم بيقل بل بالعكس ممكن يكون الفيدباك اللي جاي لهم من outside ان you're doing so good, you're great, you're amazing, whatever بس هم they know they can do better. Because sometimes they procrastinate ساعات بيكروتوا الحاجة بس من كتر ما هم شاطرين even الكروتة بتاعتهم is good. بس they know they can do better so they start to feel guilty. So in order to deal with this guilt بيبقى عايزين يعملوا psychological barrier ما بينهم وما بين